We open this newscast here in the littoral region, where thousands of people, or a great number of people, have been rendered homeless following a demolition exercise which took place in the Newtown Airport neighborhood over the weekend. The exercise came on Saturday, June 26, after its announcement a week earlier and evacuation notice announced 48 hours before. Ordered by the senior divisional officer for Vuri, who was represented at the site by Dr. Hector Eto-Fame, the demolition is said to aim at clearing the entrance and surroundings of the Douala International Airport of illegal constructions, as the land belongs to the airport. Prior to the start of the destructions early on Saturday, were demonstrations from the inhabitants who assembled and blocked the road in hopes of stopping the demolition team from accessing the neighborhood. Their protest was, however, quickly dissolved by forces of law and order and anti-riot police, who dispersed them with tear gas and bullets, and reportedly wounding at least 2 people and arresting others having their way into the neighborhood. The victims of the demolition only had their eyes to helplessly watch and cry as they lost their homes without any compensation or relocation. Some say they have been unjustly treated, as they believe that they rightfully occupied the Newtown Airport neighborhood for decades. This June exercise is a second after the first in January, with a third meant to completely sweep the area of all its homes and other buildings programmed for the near future. With that, we now take you to the north region of Cameroon, where the Garoua Gendarmerie has, in a successful operation, arrested a group of suspected bandits specialized in human bones trafficking as well as other dangerous objects. This was after a successful patrol which is was aimed at clearing the city and removing or bringing down the level of insecurity as well as crime wave in the north region of Cameroon. Details of this story with Vanessa Shuyo.
The National Gendarmerie of Nguna in Garoua during a cleanup operation have arrested 20 people suspected to be causing chaos in the locality. Sweeping across the area, these bandits were caught with marijuana, patrol police uniforms, human bones and a motorbike. This comes within the time frame of the 5th phase of Operation Clean Adamawa North, dubbed Adano. The squad commander immensely thanked the population for their collaboration and facilitating the search.
We are satisfied because the population helped us during all the operation that we run in this area. So we are very grateful for the population.
A teamwork with other law enforcing agents to ensure the locality is secured.
We are here in Guna. They have to work with the commander of Brigade of Guna. They have to work with the company commander of Ngong. We will be every time with them to help them to secure the place.
After investigations, several of these outlaw citizens will be taken to competent court to face judgment. The National Gendarmerie intends to vigorously pursue these actions on the ground to maintaining peace, calm and serenity in Mayo Boki in the Lagdo subdivision.
Back in the city of Douala, some 3 non-governmental organizations have stretched out a hand of help to some internally displaced mothers in the city of Douala whose children are facing malnutrition. During a 2-phased project, they hoped to ameliorate their situation by providing them with some highly nutritive food items, as we get in the following report with Mange Venasius.
Pushed out of their localities by the almost 5-year-old socio-political crisis in the northwest and southwest regions, these internally displaced single mothers are unable to take care of their children. Coupled with the COVID-19 pandemic, these children are facing acute food insecurity. It is within this gloomy situation that these non-governmental organizations, Association for Women Empowerment Cameroon, Dovik Relief Cameroon, and Seweko have opted to give a helping hand by providing high-quality nutritive food supplement to more than 30 children.
We are actually here to partner with KV Nutri-Foods to provide nutritious meals to these children to relieve them from malnutrition. The coming of the COVID-19 made things worse because maybe a lot of these children, a lot of their moms could get jobs, could do some few things left and right to get food, but they lost their jobs. They were internally displaced. They had small jobs around here. They lost the jobs again. So you can see the children are highly malnourished. We put together this project to supply them free Nutri-Food for their children. This food is locally made by our own local people here in Douala, Cameroon. We want them to feed these children for the next 3 to 6 months to combat malnutrition in this IDP location.
A gesture which these beneficiaries will forever remain thankful.
I'm happy today because I've been hearing about the KV food, but I've never had the opportunity to taste it. But thanks to Mama Efeti from the Awake NGO that has come here today to give us the KV food for free. So great thanks to her.
Thanks to the organization where they don't help me today, make them forgive, promise to feed our picking for inside 3 months freely for AK food. We'll be very, very grateful.
To track the evolution of the children who are malnourished, each child was registered and weighed such that in the next month they can determine how the child is faring. Gathered at Bonabome, a locality in Douala 4 subdivision, over the weekend, more than 30 children received their packages. This organization is looking forward to extend its tentacles as wider as their means could permit, so that many children in similar situations could benefit.
We are starting at Bonamome because it is this area has almost the highest rate of malnourished children. But we hope that with the help of others to partner with us, we are going to extend to the whole of Bonaberi and the whole of Douala.
Reason why they are calling on goodwill individuals to partner with them in such gesture to impact lives.
Our partners, we need your help, we need your support, well-wishers, individuals. There's a community out here of women, of families that have been displaced due to the crisis and are hard hit. They are food insecure. The corona pandemic has made it worse. They need life skills. They've left their original abode, they've left their original homes. They are not able to survive in a new environment. They need support from partners to be able to start income generating skills so that they can be able to take care of themselves, take care of their families, and why not fight malnutrition in their already suffering children.
It is a program that will meticulously be followed for the next 3 months, where these non-governmental organizations are hopefully looking forward to change the narrative by empowering these women and helping in the prosperity of humanity through a two-phased project.
Still with regards to assisting vulnerable persons in society, this time around for those with physical disabilities in the northwest region of Cameroon, the CBS Health Service has officially launched two humanitarian projects in that part of the country. The project, which is spearheaded by the Cameroon Baptist Mission, is aimed at reaching out to as many displaced or rather disabled persons in the region as possible. Details of this with Ekokobe Remika.
The official launch of 2 projects, notably the Disability Inclusive Humanitarian Action in Health and Protection sectors for internally displaced persons and host communities, as well as the Inclusive Eye Health in the context of COVID-19 response project in the Northwest region, has successfully taken place at the CBS Health Service over the weekend. These 2 projects came at the expense of the diverse needs of persons living with disability, which are so far increasing due to the prevalence of the ongoing socio-political crisis.
Like this, affected the challenge of paralysis from my chest to my toes, and it's quite challenging for me to be mobile, and that's why you see me just lying like this. This is how I spend time. I spend the night and spend the whole day at times. For instance, like now, this is 5 months I've been in this position without stepping out of my door.
During the launching ceremony, the Director of Health Services, Professor T. Pius Murphy, ascertained that the support from its partners has so far enabled the CBS Health Services to reach out to more people with disabilities, with services that influence policy, and to develop a national disability program.
Two major CBS Health Services projects sponsored by the Treated Blind Mission CBM, a long-time and highly trusted partner of the CBS Health Services since 1981. These two projects are designed to fill the gaps identified in the Humanitarian Response Initiative in the Northwest region.
The project, sponsored by the CBM to the tune of 262 million francs CFA for the next 2 years, will go a long way to enable eye care providers in the region to integrate COVID-19 awareness in the future work and promote an inclusive access to eye health in the Northwest region.
Let's round up with stories out of Cameroon, beginning in the Democratic Republic of Congo. As you heard on our headline, at least 2 people have been killed and others wounded in 3 separate attacks in the city of BENI, which is, of course, in the DRC. This has caused a state of curfew to be ordered across the nation. And over in Colombia, which is out of the African continent, at least 9 civilians and 4 police officers have been killed, also in 3 separate attacks in the country, which has been experiencing a high rise in violence of recent. More of these stories with Rogea Tububa.
People in the Democratic Republic of the Congo city of BENI have woken up to a restriction after 3 bombs rocked the east of the country. BENI is in the North Kivu province, one of 2 regions President Felix Tshisekedi placed under a state of siege on May 6th in a bid to clamp down on rebel violence in the region. A church attack on Sunday marked the first time a Catholic building has been targeted in the area. The attack took place just an hour before a children's confirmation ceremony was due to be held. According to the ministry, a restriction was declared in the city following the disasters. Checkpoints went into operation for close control of the movement of people and goods to track down the enemies of the people. As stated by media reports citing local authorities, school activities will be suspended and markets will remain closed. The authorities have not yet identified the perpetrators, but many in the city believed the first explosion was launched by rebels of the Allied Democratic Forces, a militia group that has been active in the area. Over in Colombia, at least 9 people, including 4 police officers, have been killed in 3 separate attacks across the country, which has seen a recent surge in violence and instability. According to a police statement released, 3 police officers who were out of service were killed in an attack by gunmen in the northeastern city. It was not immediately clear who was responsible for one of the 3 attacks, although authorities rejected armed groups, including protesters who signed a peace deal between the government and the rebels of the Revolutionary Armed Forces of Colombia. The International Committee of the Red Cross declared that Colombia has seen a resurgence of violence last year, as well as at least 5 conflicts with armed groups were ongoing. More than 27,000 people were displaced across Colombia in the first quarter of 2021. Protesters have since demanded government action to tackle poverty, inequalities in healthcare and education, and increasing violence across the country.
That's the end of the news today, the very first edition for this week on DBS Television. Thanks for watching and see you tomorrow and the rest of the week for other editions of the news. Until tomorrow, good night.